and welcome to the Indiana Secretary of State Auto Dealer Services Division System Replacement Project discussion of the plates on demand using the new system. Today we're going to discuss an overview of the project and where we stand on Phase 1 and Phase 2. We're going to walk through the dealer PIN letter. We're going to conduct a high-level review of establishing an account. We'll discuss the online services and also the plates on demand functionality, which is the primary focus of today's webinar. Right now we are nearly at the completion of Phase 1 of Phase 2 of the system replacement project. Our Phase 1 functionality will replace the existing legacy dealer licensing system and provide the dealers with the online account setup and the new plates on demand functionality. The dealer PIN letters, which you should have received, will allow you to set up your accounts, and this is necessary for Phase 1 online activities and the ability to access plates on demand. To let you know, the existing plates on demand functionality will cease on Saturday, May 13th at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Again, the existing plates on demand will no longer function after Saturday, May 13th at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So please go in and make sure that you are linked to your dealer and able to access plates on demand prior to Monday, May 15th. Phase 2 will provide complete online functionality, including things like being able to renew your license online, request additional plates, and to perform any changes that are necessary for your license. Here is an example of the dealer PIN letter that you should have received. We've conducted numerous mailings since March 9th, so you should have received a minimum of 1 and up to 3 letters that give you the ability to go in and link to your dealer account on the online system. To give you an idea, this is where you will look on the letter for the dealer PIN, and that dealer PIN is what establishes that one-time link between the primary user and their dealer so that they are able to go in and make the necessary administrative changes on their dealership that is available through the online services. We have several tools available to assist you with establishing your online accounts. Information is available on the Auto Dealer Services Division homepage, which is at www.in.gov/sos/dealer. The image that you see right here to the right is an example of one of the alerts. Tools that are available there for you include the Dealer Getting Started Guide, the explanation of the user roles that are available in the new system, and the online dealer registration and plates on demand frequently asked questions. Additionally, there is an online dealer account registration webinar that's available on demand for you on the dealer website. If you are going through the sign-up process and struggling with the Access Indiana single sign-on portal, please know that you can select the Need Help button. That will open up a YouTube video that will assist you in completing that Access Indiana single sign-on process. Now we're going to walk through a very brief overview of how you would go about establishing an account. The website that you will use is https://dealers.sos.in.gov. And you can see that link right here. This is the page that will open for you, and from there you would select the login button. Once you've selected login, this will be the screen that you see. If you are an existing InBiz user and have an account through the InBiz single sign-on, you'll be able to use those credentials, that email address, and that password here to go ahead and sign in and be linked directly through. If, however, you do not have an Access Indiana single sign-on account, please choose Sign Up Now. Once you select that option, you'll be redirected to this screen, which is a two-step process to begin establishing that single sign-on. You will need to use a valid email address. When you enter that email address and select Send Verification Code, an email will be generated from Access Indiana that provides you with a verification code that you'll input in the screen that opens up. Once that's been accepted, the step 2 will become visible, and you'll be able to go ahead and input the information, including a secure password that you enter and re-enter, and then the information about the user whose email address is referenced here. When that process is complete, you'll be redirected to the Auto Dealer Services Division homepage, specifically to the Find My Dealer License area of the page. Here is where you'll need to have your dealer PIN number handy, and you will enter in your dealer number and the dealer PIN from the PIN letter that you've received. Please keep in mind, if you are a dealer whose numbers begin with 4 through 9, use a leading 0 in front of your number, like 040000, so that you are able then to authenticate through as you need to. Once you have entered in your dealer number and the PIN and you select Submit, you'll receive this message that lets you know that the relationship between the user and the dealer was created. Now we want to talk briefly about managing your users through their roles and subscriptions. Each user must go through that establishing an account process that we just discussed and link to the dealer before the primary user will be able to assign a role or subscription to them. So after your users have gone through and completed this process, then the primary user will be able to do the following. You will go to the online services and select Manage Users. If you're linked to only one dealer, then that option will be pre-populated for you. If not, you will have a drop-down list and you need to select the dealer to which you would like to apply the role for your users. You'll see a list of your employees, so go ahead and select the one that you wish to make a change to, select Edit, and then it will open up this screen that you see here. And this is the Manage User tab. It will first present you with the user details that give you some information about the user. From there, you first select the Role Assignment tab. Anyone who first links to your account that doesn't have any role established at all is given a placeholder-only role of New User. The New User role has no functionality whatsoever other than just establishing the link to the dealer. So it is up to the primary user to go ahead and go in there and assign a valid role. As a reminder, you can have a full view of what the roles that are available to you as the primary user on the dealer web page on the document that we referenced earlier. After you've assigned a role here on the Role Assignment tab, then if you wish for that particular employee to receive any kind of subscription alerts, and this would include things such as general information, the Auto Dealer Services Division will be closed for X holiday, or things that are more specific to your dealership, which could include your bond or your insurance is about to expire. Such are the kind of subscription announcements that you can expect to receive. So please determine whether or not you would want a particular user to receive those, but we do recommend that at least the primary user is linked to the subscription account found on the Subscription Assignment tab. Once you have granted the role and the subscription, go ahead and select Save. It will let you know that your changes were received, and that will let you know that you have established the role and subscription for that particular user. This is a view of the online dealer portal, the My Dashboard, which is the home location for the website. Here you'll be able to see a great deal of information. In Phase 1, the primary things that you'll be looking for is recent payments, which we'll discuss in just a moment further along. And this is the way that you get to the online services, which will take you to the plates on demand and the managed users, which we just discussed. On the online dealer portal, the online services tab, this is how we will get to plates on demand as we just discussed. And in Phase 1, please know that the plates on demand and the user management are the two services that are implemented. Phase 2 will provide you with those other exciting things that we expect to see, including renewing your license, making changes to your license, and other various changes, which will all be available through various online services. This is the link that you will see on this website, effective Monday, May 15th. For all of you who've already successfully linked to your dealers, you do not see this link yet, but it will be live and active on Monday, May 15th. Please keep in mind the old Plates on Demand system will cease to be operational on Saturday, May the 13th at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and on Monday morning, May 15th, this will be the way that you go to be able to process interim plates. All right, if you were linked to only one dealer, that select area will be pre-populated with your dealer name. If you have more than one dealer that you are actually linked to, you must select from the drop-down arrow, choose your dealer, and then select Plates on Demand, and that will link you through to the Plates on Demand area of the website. Once you have access to Plates on Demand, the first thing that you'll see in the upper section of the screen is the Dealer Details section. If you are authorized for motor vehicle, you will see something that looks very similar to this. If you are authorized for motorcycles only, you'll see a Dealer Detail section like this. And if you're authorized for both the sales of motor vehicles and motorcycles, you'll see a section in the Dealer Details that reflects both. The new Plates on Demand system is very similar to the existing one. We have 3 tabs that are available for you: the Recent Plates, Generate Plate, and Credit Purchase, and they allow you to do things like view or edit the interim plates, generate the interim plate, and then purchase credits that are needed so that you are able to then generate those interim plates. The very first tab that we're going to discuss is the Recent Plates tab. Any interim plates that are issued will be displayed here, and they will be newest first and then in descending order. Anyone who has generated that particular plate will be shown by name here, and that's the username that they're logged in under. For those plates that are generated prior to go live, you'll just see the information converted, and please know that's just the converted data before we were able to identify it by user. This little message box that you see here is what is generated to let you know that you are able then to open that particular plate for printing. Next, we're going to discuss the Generate Plate tab. This is what you'll be able to use to generate an interim plate. And you can see here, this particular dealer has the ability to purchase both motor vehicle and motorcycle interim plates. And you can see that both of those radio buttons are also present. So when you enter in the vehicle identification number, you'll need to select which one of those you want to use before you click on the VIN. This area of the screen is where we will be interfacing with VINtelligence. That is a service that will take a look at that particular 17-character VIN and validate it, and then return information for you. This helps to make sure that the information that you entered is correct. but we do ask that you verify the information that you entered in the information that was returned to make sure that you have selected the correct VIN before continuing. VINtelligence will return a number of different messages to assist you in making sure that you've made the proper selection. If you enter a VIN and it's off by perhaps just a number, it will give you the message that it was corrected, and it will give you the option of 2 different VINs, and then you can select the correct one and proceed, or you can choose the cancel button to start over. So that's one of the messages that you could receive and the process to follow through with that. If you enter a VIN, and generally if it's off by more than just 1 or 2 characters, it will say that they could not validate that VIN, and they'll ask you to please take a look at that VIN. The best way to do that is select cancel, start over, and enter that VIN to make sure that you have a correct VIN. If you've entered a VIN that is not 17 characters long, you'll get this message. We do realize that older cars were made before 17-character VINs were the standard, so you do have the option of going and continuing using the VIN that you typed in if it is fewer than 17 characters. On the Plates on Demand Generate Plate tab, that's where you can see once that VIN was accepted, this is the information that it will return for you. That VIN number, the make, model, and year. You will need to enter in the color. That does not pre-populate for you. Then you can enter in the customer details information here. It will generate a PDF of the interim plates, and to give you the best possible outcome when you print that interim plate, we ask that you select actual size from the printing options. The next tab we're going to talk about is the Credit Purchase tab. Depending on the role that you've assigned to your particular user, they will have the ability to go in here and purchase additional credits. The way that that is done is that you just type in the number of credits that you wish to purchase for either, in this particular instance, for either motor vehicle or motorcycles or both. Once you've entered in that information, you go ahead and click on the Add to Shopping Cart, and then you'll be able to proceed to the shopping cart to finalize payment. This is a view of what you can expect to see in the shopping cart. We selected in the last screen 20 motor vehicle plates and 15 motorcycle plates, and you can see there is our total. In order to be able to proceed, we would select this button, Proceed to Checkout, and that will take us to the secure online payment gateway value payment system, and then you'll be able to complete your transaction. One of the available means are credit card, debit card, or through the guaranteed e-check process. We're not going to walk you through this shopping cart at this moment, but we will when we do the live demo here in just a moment. But when the transaction is complete, you will receive a confirmation message much like this, letting you know the date and time, the confirmation ID, so that you'll be able to see that this was processed successfully. If while you were in the payment processing function, you elect to enter your email address, you will receive an email much like this as the subject line, and much like this is the body of the email. So you can see here's our confirmation ID, and here it is again in the email. This makes a real handy way to keep track of the purchases that you've made and those confirmation numbers. So if that is something you're interested in, please be sure when you're in the value payment systems to add your email address at the end of the process. From here, you would select Back to Dashboard, which would return you to My Dashboard feature. If you wanted to go in and verify that those credits were purchased and that you now have everything that you need to be able to print interim plates, from the My Dashboard, you would select Online Services and Plates on Demand to return to this screen. Here you can see those recently purchased credits are displayed here. That lets us know that we're ready to go ahead and generate plates. Back on the online dealer dashboard, this is where you can see that purchase that you made. It will show here in the Recent Payments tab of the My Dashboard, and it will give you the date, the amount, and the payment type, and some more information about that recent payment that you just made to purchase those credits. That walks you through how you would go about using the Plates on Demand new system. Now we're going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. But please do keep in mind, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to call the Auto Dealer Services main line, use their fax number that's located here, or use the email address. So now what we're going to do is, for the purposes of this demonstration, I must use our test site. So forgive me for using the test site. This is not the same email account that I showed you. Please use the email account that's listed on your dealer PIN letter, and that's also listed in the webinar that we just discussed when you're linking to your dealer. For the purposes of this demonstration, though, so you can see Plates on Demand, we're going to go ahead and log in on the test site using test data. Okay, I am already an established user with the Access Indiana Single Sign-On Portal, so I'll go ahead and enter my email account and my password and select Sign In. I will, however, type in my correct password. Okay, I think I have mistyped. Oh, forgive me. I did mistype something. I apologize all. And now we're in. So that was a very good example of what you'll see as an error message if you've mistyped either your user ID or your password. And now you can see that it is logging me in. This is an example of the dashboard. Remember, please, that this is just test data. I have used the Find My Dealer licenses and used my test dealer, which was established for this. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like if you ever have a doubt whether or not you're successfully linked to your dealer. The best way to find out is to go ahead and type in the information from your dealer PIN letter and hit submit, and it'll tell you, hey, you're already linked to that dealer number, which is exactly what I wanted to see because I am linked successfully to my test dealer. But this is the process that you would go through in order to register for the first time on that production site, which will be live on Monday, May 15th. For your employees, all you would have them do is come to the Find My Dealer licenses, enter in your dealer number, and please remember, if you're a dealer that starts with a 4 or with a 9, to use that 0 in front of it to make sure that link is successful. And all they have to do is enter in your dealer number and hit submit in order to link successfully to your dealership. Now that I am in here and linked successfully, I'm going to go to Online Services. For the purposes of testing, I am linked to more than one dealer, but I'm going to use 2017 Super Test Autos as our test dealer for this purpose. Now, the first thing that I want to do, as we discussed in the webinar, is take a look at the Manage Users to see if I've got any of my employees successfully linked to my dealership so that I can grant them a role and subscribe them. And I do have 2 users linked to my test dealership, so I'm going to go in there and assign them their roles. We're going to start with Mel, and I'm going to select Edit. And you can see here, this gives me some information about that particular user. I'm going to go to role assignment, and you can see they have new user, which is just that placeholder role that grants no access. So I'm going to get rid of that by putting it over here into the available roles. And she is my primary administrator, so I'm going to go ahead and select that as her available role. Next, I'm going to go to subscription assignment. Because she is my administrator, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that she is subscribed because I want her to receive any of those alerts that I also will receive. I added her to that, and now I select Save. And you can see that I have successfully saved the changes I made, granting the role and the subscription to that user. Next, I'm going to go to the user Nancy and go ahead and go to her role. Remember, we don't want new users, so we'll just toss that over here on this side. And Nancy, all she's going to do for me is just print plates. So I just want her to have the general plates role. I will select that so that it's blue, use the little caret to move it over here into the assigned roles. Now for Miss Nancy, I don't want her to have any subscription, so I'm just not going to give her anything here. All I really want is for her to have that role. So I'm going to select Save there, and you can see that that content was saved as well. Now I have my two users assigned roles so they can assist me in generating interim plates, and I'm not alone in being able to have that functionality. So then now that we've got our users managed, we're going to go back to online services, go back to our dealer, and go on to plates on demand. Okay, you can see here that we've got our limits established. We do have some online credit so that we can generate plates, and we've already assigned a couple plates this year. And you can see here the ones that we've already done. Our very first tab, Recent Plates. You can see the name of the person who generated that interim plate and the details about that particular plate. Now, since I'm in here and I don't like our levels and I want to make sure that we have enough credits purchased so that neither Mel nor Nancy are going to come to me and say, hey, we need more credits purchased, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I can go up to 130 because I would have a limit of 150, and then between those two, that's 20 I've used, so I've got 130 available. And I'm going to go ahead and get another 25 of those set up. And for motorcycles, I have 10. Remember, I've got a limit of 20. I've already used 10, so I've got 10 left available. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just take care of that today. So that gives me my total number of credits that I want to purchase now, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to the shopping cart. In this particular instance, I chose to select both of those, but you can choose either one. You wouldn't have to do both. Just purchase what you need. From there, you can see it redirected us to the shopping cart. And now I've got 25 motor vehicle and 10 motorcycle, and we're going to go ahead and proceed to check out. All right, this is a view of the value payment system. And remember, I'm in here doing just test data, so I'm going to enter some test information so that we can see how this works. So you go ahead and enter in this information the correct information of the person to whom the card is assigned. And I'm going to go ahead and use my email account because I will want that email confirmation to send to me so I'm able to validate this purchase. And I'm selecting continue. Now it's going to ask us, okay, here are the terms and services. Here's the total payment. If you wish to continue, go ahead and select accept terms and process the payment, which is what we're going to select. And there we have our confirmation number. This gives us the date and time as well as our confirmation ID. And we're going to go ahead and select back to dashboard. Now I just want to go in there and make sure that everything worked out the way that I intended. So I'm going to go ahead and select my dealer again and go back into Plates on Demand. And now you can see that I've got all of the information here. These numbers did increase by those that we had purchased. So we have that many available to us now so that we can go ahead and generate a plate. So we're going to go ahead and select generate a plate. And the first one that we're going to do is a motor vehicle plate. And I am just using test data. So you can see that this is still light. As soon as you tab over it, then it becomes dark blue. That lets you know it's okay to select and move on. And we're going to go ahead and validate that VIN. And you can see because it immediately returned the information, that was a valid VIN, and we're ready to go. From here, you would be able to enter in the color, the customer details, and then be able to generate the plate. But just so that we can have an idea of what an error message looks like, we're just going to go back to generate a plate. We're going to put that in there, but instead of this 0, I'm going to use a letter O in case, oops, I messed up there. And then we'll go ahead and select Validate VIN. And you can see this is the first of the messages that we discussed where it says, hey, this is what you entered, but we really think you meant to use a 0 instead of an O there. And I can say, oh, you're correct. I can select that and use the corrected VIN. So we're going to go ahead and enter in the color here. All right, and we're going to select Generate Plate. This lets us know that the plate did generate successfully. We select OK. And now you can see that we have this, which allows us to open and view that interim plate that we created. So here's our interim plate. You can see that we've got the VIN number on here, the information, and also the color that we entered. And just as a reminder, you'll want to go to File and Print. When you look at the print properties, please select Actual Size. This will give you the best possible printed product, so we recommend that you use actual size when you're doing the printing. We're going to go ahead and close out of that. And you can see the information that we just added there for Miss Betty is in line. Well, that's just a motor vehicle, so let's go ahead and generate a motorcycle interim plate as well. So I have this test VIN here, but just so that we can see another one of the error messages, I'm going to make it only 16 characters, and we can see immediately, whoops, you didn't type in the full VIN. Please confirm. Oh, okay. Well, yep, I need to fix that. So I enter in the correct VIN, and then select Validate, and it will go ahead and pull the information through. And we'll go ahead and enter the information here, and Miss Betty was having just a banner day. And we're going to go ahead and generate this motorcycle interim plate. And we'll go ahead and select open so that we can take a look at that. And here we have it. Remember, this is the same functionality that you'll want to use that we did just for the motor vehicle plate. So when you go in there and take a look at the print options, please do select actual size so that it will give you the proper dimensions for that motorcycle interim plate. We'll go ahead and close out of that. And you can see now we have the 4 options available to us. These are the 2 that we did previously and the 2 that we just did now. If you looked at this and you're like, oh goodness, this motorcycle isn't red at all, I need to fix that. These buttons will be available to you, edit, for 3 days from the date of initial creation so that you can correct any mistakes that may have been made when this original transaction was completed. So we are within the 3 days, so we're going to go ahead and correct this color on this particular one. And it wasn't red at all, it was maroon. No, it wasn't. It was fire engine red. Oh, yes, it was. Okay, so now we have this lovely fire engine red, which is the correct one, and we're going to select submit. Oh dear, I can't hit select yet because I have to enter a comment. Anytime that you make a change, anytime that you select edit, you will need to enter in a comment to explain the change that you're making to that interim plate. So you enter in the correct comment, and now you will be able to submit that change to the interim plate. Because we made a change, it's going to give you that option to print that. So we'll go ahead and select open, and you can see now our color is mostly there for this revised plate. So you'll select File and Print, and then actual size so that you get the properly sized motorcycle interim plate. And we'll go ahead and cancel out of there. And so you can see recent plates shows who it was generated by, the VIN and the customer information regarding the sales. We've used generate plate for both motor vehicle and for motorcycle. We've looked at the VINtelligence information that returns when you enter in a VIN. And we've also discussed purchasing credits and how you would be able to do that. And if you can remember, in our last transaction, we purchased the last of the available, so now it is giving me that number of 0, as it should. That steps you through the plates on demand new system processes and how you would be able to use the system. We ask that you please do go to the Auto Dealer Services Division homepage and review any of that information if you have questions about the new system, plates on demand, establishing a user account, and any of the roles that are available for you. We thank you very much for your time and attention.